You ever wake up on a Sunday morning thinking you're finally going to get some peace and quiet? Maybe sip your coffee on the porch, take the boat out, teach your nephew how to bait a hook. And then suddenly you're staring down a woman in leopard print pajamas and a death grip on a traffic cone like she's about to start World War III over your boat ramp? Yeah, that was me. And that woman? Her name was Cheryl. She was the president of our HOA, and she believed with every fiber of her clipboard-carrying soul that she ran the lake. What she didn't know? She'd just picked a fight with the wrong man. And the wrong jurisdiction. My name's Hank Dalton. Been a U.S. Marshal for over 20 years. Spent most of that time dealing with fugitives, drug corridors, and the occasional lunatic who thought he could outrun the law in cowboy boots. I don't talk about my job much, especially not around neighbors. When I bought our lakefront property at Clearwater Pines 5 years ago, it wasn't for the fishing. It was to breathe, to sit still, to let the weight of years in the field settle in silence. But people like Cheryl, they don't let quiet last long. That morning, I was with my wife, Nora, and our nephew Logan. We were getting ready to launch the boat from the ramp that sits smack dab in the middle of our property. A ramp I paid for. Had deeded. Legal, legit, no question. Logan was strapping on his life vest. Nora was handing me a thermos. I had just taken a sip when we heard it. That screech. That voice that sounded like a raccoon got tangled in a saxophone. Stop right there. You can't launch that boat. And there she was. Cheryl. Sunglasses bigger than her actual head. That awful clipboard clutched to her chest like it was the 10 Commandments. She stomped across the property line like she had GPS coordinates on every square inch of dirt. This is HOA property, she said, nose high, like she smelled something foul and wanted everyone to know it. That ramp's for community use only. You're in violation. I glanced down at the ramp, then back at her, then at Nora, who had that look on her face, the one that said, "Oh Lord, don't let him say what he's thinking." "Ma'am," I said, calmly, "this here's private property. Has been since the subdivision was built. Your HOA doesn't extend past Lot 38. This is Lot 40. She scoffed like I'd just told her the moon was made of cheese. "That's what you people always say. But rules are rules. I'm calling the sheriff." Logan looked up at me, confused. "Uncle Hank, is she allowed to do that?" I smiled. "Oh, she can call whoever she wants, buddy. But she's digging herself a hole she won't crawl out of." Sure enough, Cheryl stomped off, phone in hand, pacing on her porch like she was reporting a terrorist act. I could hear snippets: trespasser, illegal launch, safety hazard. 10 minutes later, a cruiser rolled in. And who steps out? Deputy Kevin Larkin. Trained him myself back when he was green as grass. He saw me, froze like a deer, then gave me a nod. I returned it with just enough smirk to say, "Play it cool." Cheryl ran up to him like a wind-up toy losing battery. "That man is operating without authorization. He's putting our community at risk." Kevin turned to me, clearly trying not to laugh. "Sir, can I see some ID?" I handed over my badge. Cheryl's mouth fell open like someone unplugged her brain. "U.S. Marshal?" "Yes, ma'am," I said. "Assigned to this district. Also the rightful owner of this ramp." She stammered something about bylaws, water tables, HOA precedents. Kevin just looked at her and said, "We're good here, Cheryl." She stormed off muttering, "You'll hear from the board." I thought that'd be the end of it. Silly me. Next morning, we find a yellow envelope stapled to the dock post. HOA violation notice. $500 per day fine for unauthorized marine activity. It was so ridiculous I laughed out loud. Logan pointed out Cheryl hiding behind her rose bushes, binoculars and all. Nora shook her head. "She's gonna push this." I nodded. "Let her." That night, I showed up at the monthly HOA meeting. Not as a marshal, just Hank from Lot 40. Cheryl was holding court at the head table, flanked by her cronies, talking about grass height ordinances and garbage bin placement. When the floor opened, I stood. "Hank Dalton, Lot 40. I received a citation I'd like to dispute." Cheryl narrowed her eyes. That lot falls under special oversight due to water proximity. I walked up, handed over a folder with every legal document known to Mondade, zoning maps, exemption paperwork. This land was excluded from the HOA charter at founding. I'd appreciate it if I wasn't fined for using my own dock. Murmurs spread. One guy raised his hand. Wait, so none of that applies to him. Cheryl slammed the folder shut. Meeting adjourned. But the damage was done. I went home, poured a sweet tea, and drafted an email to our Federal Compliance Division. Attached, the citations, the forged documents, a photo of Cheryl's fake emergency water ban, signed complete with a made-up agency seal. A week later, my colleague Casey Reynolds, one of the toughest marshals I know, rolled into town undercover. Wore a sundress, carried a real estate clipboard, attended an open house Cheryl was hosting. Cheryl bragged the whole time. Said she ran the HOA like a tight ship. Said she shut down a rogue boater last week. Casey recorded the whole thing. Even got Cheryl on tape saying, "I am the HOA. The board just signs what I give him." Within 48 hours, subpoenas were issued. Turns out Cheryl and her husband had funneled grant money through fake beautification projects, most of which led to their backyard. By month's end, Cheryl was under federal investigation. Her husband's contracting license was suspended. Her HOA privileges revoked. And me? I got an invite to a state oversight committee. Apparently, someone thought I'd be good at keeping people like Cheryl in check. I told them I'd think about it. That Saturday, we held a barbecue at the ramp. The neighbors brought ribs, pie, and stories. Lots of stories. Turns out, Cheryl had been tormenting folks for years. One lady got fined for painting her mailbox too cheerful. Another got cited for planting non-native tulips. As the sun set, we unveiled a new sign. Simple, wooden, carved with care. Marshal's Landing open to all, except Cheryl. People laughed, took pictures. For once, the lake felt like ours again. Nora leaned against me. "Think she's watching?" I nodded. "Probably." Logan grinned. "So, you gonna arrest her?" I chuckled. "She arrested herself, kiddo. All I did was let the truth catch up." Sometimes, justice ain't about sirens or headlines. Sometimes, it's just about showing up calm, steady, and unshakable, like a dock that doesn't budge no matter how high the water rises. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story on Store of Good Stories. If this story touched your heart or made you think, don't forget to hit like and share the video to spread this positive message to more people. And if this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the meaningful stories we share every week. Your support is the biggest motivation for Store of Good Stories to keep bringing heartfelt and valuable stories to you. See you in the next video.